2021 was an interesting year for EarthMC. YouTube invasions, a new queue, another reset. Lots of interesting things were added onto the server and changed. I'd say it was a pretty decent year for EarthMC. The server probably improved over the past year. But instead of looking back on last year, I wanted to look forward to this year, 2022. Will, on today, 1 year from now, the server be a better place? That's the question I'm going to try and answer today. Maybe some good add-ons that I think could help the server, where I think the server will be in 1 year, and then maybe 1 year from now, I can look back on this video and then make a new version. So let's get right into this video. Just kidding, I actually want you to subscribe really quick. Just guys, go down, just click the red button, guys. Look, I'm gonna threaten you if you don't. Yep, I put it out there. It's for your own best interest to click the subscribe button right now, please. Anyways, I don't have a script written for this one. I'm just gonna kind of talk about what I think is going on with the server and what I think will happen in 2022. So the first thing I wanted to look at is the player count. The most important thing for EarthMC is whether or not more people will play in 2022 than played in 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018. So we have this graph here of the max players for every month. In the blue is the last 2 years. In the gray is the last 2 years before that. So you can see on the far right is the invasion of the Japanese YouTuber Oniyama. One of the biggest jumps ever in the history of EarthMC. And you can see in the gray right behind it was when the EarthMC trailer blew up and it went viral on YouTube and a ton of new people joined the server. So we can see overall that in 2021 there was a higher player count than in 2020, which is actually quite surprising since 2020 was like the lockdown year where everybody wasn't really going anywhere and they were all playing on EarthMC. I thought I remember there being a lot of people on in 2020, which surprises me that there were more people on in 2021. So looking towards 2022, I feel like because of this trend, there will probably be more people playing. Depending on YouTuber invasions and anything like that, which I will talk about in a tiny bit, I think overall EarthMC will probably gain players in 2022. Now this could definitely not happen though, because I don't know where the server will be in a year. I could see it all falling apart over the course of the next year. The amount of new claims and new towns that are popping up compared to the amount of players on the server is getting worse and worse. There's just more and more claims all around the earth. Now I don't know much about EarthMC Classic, but I kind of feel like that was part of the reason it was reset. The map was too small and people were just claiming too much of the world. Now EarthMC Terra Nova, if we look at maps like a year ago, it's just insane the difference. Everywhere on the server is more crowded than it was before. Now this will just keep happening. So I'll talk about that as well a little bit more in the video, but I feel like in 2022, the player count will probably go up. This is subject to change. If you're watching this video in 2 months and you're laughing at me because Fix was ousted as a terrible person and now nobody plays the server, look, that's a very real possibility. No offense, Fix. Look, that came out a little bit wrong, but I feel like you guys get my point. If something really bad happens to the server, which I feel like could possibly happen, we're getting to the point where there hasn't been a really major controversy in EarthMC in quite a long time. I feel like there will be one at least in 2022. Next thing I want to talk about is YouTuber invasions. So there was obviously the Oniyama invasion in 2021. Late in the year, he went on the server and gave us a new max players on the server at once, I think in the server's history. 626 people online. Not sure if I'm getting that 100% right. I'm just looking at a stats website right now. But anyways, I would say this was good for the server. Even though it brought a lot of new and unwanted players to the server, it was really good for the activity of the server, and there were a ton more people with premium online. You'd see when you tab, you'd see everybody on the screen with premium. Obviously, this was good for the server. Now, I think that next year we'll probably see either another Japanese YouTuber join the server, or I'm thinking maybe a Korean or Taiwanese YouTuber join the server. I feel like we're due for something like that to happen. Somebody's going to see Oniyama, and they're going to think, wow, that's a really good video idea, and then they're going to make a video. Let's not forget, Oniyama's videos got a ton of views. There's a market for EarthMC YouTube that I have obviously am aware of because of how well I've been doing. EarthMC gets views on YouTube. It's only a matter of time before more and more YouTubers figure this out, and I think we could see a full-scale YouTuber invasion coming soon. Is this an improvement for the server? Man, I have no idea about that one. That's really something I have to think about a little bit more, though. Because it brings new players to the server, which is good, but it also crowds the server, I think, maybe a little bit more than it can handle, which is not something we need in 2022. Which brings me to my third topic, the server longevity. Now, in 2018, the server reset. Late 2018. So basically, we had 2019, 2020, and 2021. That's 3 years now since the server first started on Terra Nova. You know, putting it that way, I feel like the server can probably keep going for maybe 2 more years before you really have to reset. I personally think it needs a reset now, as soon as possible. but I know Fix disagrees with me, and I respect that opinion because he obviously knows more about the server than I do. He knows what's best for the server better than the players do. That is obvious, and even though it's sad because I really want to reset, it's something that you have to be okay with. But the server, it's going to start deteriorating. Places like the East Coast is going to be completely claimed. All the way from Maine down to Florida. It's all going to be claimed. Europe is going to be just absolutely awful. There's going to be absolutely no room to do anything in Europe. That is just going to happen. I think Asia will get a lot worse. Places like China and obviously Japan, there will be nowhere to claim. But China, I feel like that whole Chinese coast is going to get completely claimed. I think Australia is due for some good expansion. I think that whole coastline is going to start getting claimed. The Middle East is going to get all claimed. From SPQR over to Israel, that all is going to be completely claimed, like the East Coast. Russia's probably going to stay fine. I mean, it's going to gain claims because every year that happens, but it's not going to be as bad as other places. I think 1 year from now, finding a place to start a town in a desirable location is going to be miserable. The United States is going to have just a ton of stuff. It's going to start turning into Europe slowly. Now, I don't think it'll ever actually get to as bad as Europe. The Great Plains region is just not going to get that claimed. It's just not going to happen. But the East and West Coast are going to become Europe over the next year, I think. I don't want to deal with too many claims in America. Now, I will say right now that the U.S. is more dead than I think it's ever been on the server. Only because I have experience with this region, I can make this assumption. There's going to be another superpower in 2022. Maybe it's Acadia, maybe Cascadia makes a comeback, Texas Republic, maybe somewhere down south could start doing that. Or maybe somebody on the East Coast, one of those nations gets bought and actually, like, does something for once, my goodness. But I think we're due for another large empire in the United States. I think Illinois died a while ago, and it needs to happen at some point. So that's also going to help with crowding up America. Because even though Illinois is pretty much dead and gone, they still have so many claims in the Great Lakes region. Basically, all of Lower Michigan is claimed by Illinois. We're not going to go down in claims, people. They're just going to keep going up. Finally, I just wanted to talk about if EarthMC will reset in 2021. Now, I was more optimistic about this a year or two ago when I made the Will EarthMC reset video, where I said, I think it'll reset this year, maybe next April. Now, we're coming up on probably a year since that video came out. It's not resetting anytime soon. I think we've gotten enough hints from Fix that he doesn't want to reset the server, and he isn't going to reset the server anytime soon. I think I know more about the server and the reset situation since I made that video, realizing that the server just isn't going to reset anytime soon. I think it's going to get really bad, and Fix is going to be forced to reset the server at some point, but I don't think that's going to be this year. I think the reset will probably be late next year, if I had to guess. Maybe the year after that. We're just going to have to hang tight. Literally, by the time it resets, I'm going to be 18 years old. I'm going to be going to college, and I'm not going to play EarthMC anymore. And that's a really scary and sad thought. Again, if Fix, if you're watching this video, buddy, please, my goodness, it is literally in my financially best interest that you reset the server. Please get on it, buddy. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, I don't think the server will reset. Once we get to maybe a couple years from now, as I said, I think we might see a reset, but not anytime soon, not in 2022, so that's not something we can look forward to. That would automatically redeem the year, by the way, Fix. That would make so many people happy. But now to the point of the video where I decide if I think EarthMC will improve in 2022. I was thinking before recording this video of what I actually want to say here. And, you know, usually I side with EarthMC and I trust the process of Fix. I feel like 2022 is going to be a bad year for EarthMC. I think it's not going to improve. Now, again, I don't say this a lot. I'm usually very optimistic about what's going on, and I'm not going to say stuff that bad about the server because I trust in the staff team, and I give them a lot more credit than most of the server does. But I feel like the future is a bit glum for the server. I don't know. Obviously, please, again, for this video, it's actually important to me that I would like to know your opinions in the comments down below if you made it this far into the video. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. Happy New Year, everyone. EarthMC in 2022. Let's get it fixed. Please prove me wrong. Thank you all very much for watching. Ashkali, I hope you enjoyed it. Toothbrush.